recently, Mr. Michael Douglas on his Instagram said that he has to grow the goatee because he's going to be shooting Ant-Man and the Wasp in the Quantumania this year, and they're hoping that it comes out next year. So I want to start with you, because I know you're a big Ant-Man fan, man. Just your general thoughts and excitement level for Ant-Man 3, and what's your expectations for Kang the Conqueror, played by Jonathan Majors, and the importance of quantum realm? We're almost like, I don't want to say we forgot about the quantum realm, but we're talking about multiverse so much, but the quantum realm is a pretty big thing in the Marvel comics. So just your thoughts on getting Ant-Man next year.
I think it'll all sort of like tie in together at some point. I mean, I hope we get Ant-Man next year. I'm not like, holding my breath that that's going to be the case, but like, I mean, look, I'm just excited for it. Like, I want them to get weird and go into like the just wacky stuff about the Ant-Man comics and whatnot, and just really continue the pattern of the films just being like really enjoyable family films. And not like, family films, but like movies that focus on like family. Because right now we don't have the Fantastic Four, and I think the Ant-Man films are the closest that we've gotten to the Fantastic Four movies, and just sort of like continuing to explore that dynamic. Hank Pym's like, past and how it's affecting his future. And now we've got Michelle Pfeiffer properly in the mix. And so let's see what she can sort of do as Janet. And obviously with like the aftermath of Endgame, how is that going to affect these characters specifically? Because I think there's a lot that they can sort of explore there. And then as for Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror, I mean, like, sign me the hell up, because I'm really excited for that. I love Jonathan Majors as an actor, and like getting to see him play what I'm assuming is going to be the main villain of this film is going to be really, really interesting. And and I also think that this is going to open the door for the Fantastic Four. Like, this will probably be the first film that hints at the existence of them. Just given, Reed Richards and Hank Pym's sort of like history in the comics, I think that this would probably be an appropriate place to do that. So I am all in on this, and I'm just like so excited that we're going to have an Ant-Man trilogy, because I love these movies so much.
Yeah, that is so interesting you said that regarding again talking about Fantastic Four. I think this is like Marvel's way of saying, we know that you had a script for Fantastic Four, Peyton, so we're going to let you at least introduce the Fantastic Four in your film. Just just a little tease for you, and who's he might direct the sequel or whatnot. But yeah, Kang the Conqueror being in the mix. Jonathan Majors, fantastic actor. Lovecraft Country was one of my favorite shows last year. And just knowing that, I'm excited for Ant-Man 3 for the fact that I think for the first time, and this is my opinion, I feel like whenever they drop the first two Ant-Mans, they're just like little appetizers before Avengers, and then, or was it before, it was after Age of Ultron, if I'm not mistaken, or before, one or the other. And then the second one came out like right around after Infinity War. So I'm glad it is kind of, I just want an Ant-Man movie just to be on its own and not worry about connecting to the quantum realm, being in Infinity War and Endgame and all that stuff tied into the greater universe. I'm just really excited for Ant-Man to get his story. I think, Stature is going to come into the mix with Casey Lane. So I'm really looking forward to what we get with that one. But shooting it over to you, Amanda, your general thoughts. I don't know, are you a fan of the Ant-Man franchise? And just your thoughts on this Ant-Man 3 announcement.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. I remember when Age of Ultron came out, and I wasn't a fan whatsoever. And like you said, Ant-Man was the next one. So I remember like everyone on Twitter, we're going to boycott Ant-Man because Age of Ultron was so bad. And I'm like, you guys are missing out, because Peyton, like even the trailers, like Peyton Reed, oh my God, the direction, everything that he played around with, it was just amazing. So like I hyped Ant-Man by myself because people were going to boycott it. I'm like, these are wrong. Okay, so I'm so excited. And I do think that Ant-Man is going to have the best trilogy in the MCU, because Peyton, I'm calling it, because Peyton Reed direction keep your mouths open and stop. I am serious. Peyton Reed's direction has been so consistent. The writing has been so consistent. And like, I'm a huge fan of Captain America. You guys know this. But Civil War is the third installment was not the right decision.
Yes.
Wow. I'm gonna end this conversation, Amanda. I want to have
No,
this
she's
conversation
right.
in the
She's
future.
so right. Yes.
It wasn't a Cap story. It wasn't. I know it's masked as an Avengers film because Age of Ultron was terrible. So they're like, let's do Avengers 2.0 with Civil War because that wasn't the original title either. So yeah. So I really do think that Ant-Man's going to have the most consistent trilogy. Jonathan Majors is going to kick some major ass. I'm so excited for him. And I love Ant-Man so much. God bless Paul Rudd for being an amazing person.
Yeah, for real.
I'm going to put it on my calendar now. I want to pin this conversation for another day. Ant-Man 3 or Ant-Man having a better trilogy than Cap and Griff, you're going to be on that panel too, man. Because
dude,
I love it.
She's so right. Just because of the consistency across all three films, because of how intimate the stories are, they're not worried about connecting the larger universe. They've always been like their own thing, focused on the characters first. And I feel like with the Cap films, the first two movies are exceptional, two of the best films in the MCU. But that third one, man, it can't decide whether it wants to be Cap 3 or Avengers 2.5. And that's where it really kind of crumbles for me. It should have been Cap 3, then Civil War. And that's
I'll just say this: the first Cap was evolved around a war, and the third Cap was evolved around a war. And it was still an intimate story because our last battle was Bucky versus Cap versus Iron Man, and not versus the Winter Soldiers. So, oh man, I would love to have that conversation with you too. But definitely respect it though. But Chris, man, I don't know if you have another hot take like Amanda there with Ant-Man being potentially maybe the best trilogy in the MCU. Who knows? But what's your thoughts on just general thoughts on Ant-Man 1, Ant-Man Wasp, Ant-Man 2, and your excitement level for Ant-Man in the Quantumania?
Yeah, that was a hot take. I have to.
Just the water, man. Almost like
Yeah, no, and also it's not even out yet. Like that's a lot. That's a lot to say. Just to be clear, like my excitement level for all Marvel things is up. Like there's nothing that's coming out that I don't care about. So that's one. But I treat Ant-Man 1 like I treated Guardians of the Galaxy. Didn't know what to expect. Didn't expect it to be good, and then fell in love with it.
Yeah.
So I mean, Paul Rudd is, I'm an OG Clueless dude. So like, I've been down with Paul since the beginning. So love that. I only watched Ant-Man and the Wasp once, and I don't remember liking it a lot. So I think I have to rewatch it to give it its credit. But I remember not liking it as much as I liked the first Ant-Man. Just like how I felt about Guardians 2. Like I didn't like Guardians 2 like nearly as much as Guardians 1. So I probably have to revisit that before I really say like it's on the bottom of my list of like I've ranked all the Marvel movies. It's towards the end. But I'm excited because Kang is going to be huge. I love Jonathan. That's going to be important. And just I think the stories like some of the movies are elevated because of what has come before it. So it's like because of all we've gone through, like it sets up for this movie to be dope, like even better. Like because of all we've gone through, like makes WandaVision dope. Like some of these things, it's like they're not designed to stand on their own, but like that's why potentially then it could be a great trilogy. And I get the point, but I mean, I'm a Civil War stan, and I get the argument that it wasn't a Cap story, but I think I just love the movie so much that I don't care. So yeah, it's gonna be a tough conversation. I'll get popcorn ready for you guys. I'm staying out of it.
We'll have that. Yeah, we'll have that conversation maybe on the anniversary of Captain Civil War. I think it's in April, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember when that film came out, but it's Ant-Man 3. I'm really excited for it. And you just said something too, Chris, regarding like again going back to when Ant-Man 1 came out after Age of Ultron. Ant-Man 2 coming out after Infinity War, if I'm not mistaken. And in this one, not having the pressure of an Avengers movie. So like there's no Avengers movies, as Kevin Feige saying in phase 4, phase 5, we'll get it again. So I like that they don't have to, again, we're assuming that the quantum is going to play a role into the greater universe, but I like that it's not going to either come after an Avengers movie or come before an Avengers movie. It could just be its own movie and Peyton Reed tell his story again. With the casting announcement of Catherine Newton, who's just been great. I loved her in Freaky. I loved her in, seeing her in Pikachu and all that stuff. I feel bad for the actress that kind of, I guess she found out online, like we all did, that she was no longer going to be playing Scott's daughter, which is sad. Hopefully Marvel gives her another role later on in the role. But I'm looking forward to it. And I guess, is Hank going to die in this one? Is Hank or... Is Janet gonna die? Is that something we can speculate as far as that going on there?
I don't want
to. Yeah, right. I mean, maybe I don't know. To me, it would have to make negative sense. Like, you can't just kill him off for the sake of killing him off. Obviously,
Right,
I don't think they would necessarily do that. But I mean, I guess it's possible for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see, and again, we'll see if Evangeline Lilly and Paul Rudd get married, and we got a stepdaughter in the mix. I'm really looking forward to this, and again, Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror, which Griffin alluded to, has great ties to the Reed family in regards to Fantastic Four and opening up different time portals and all that. I think I would love if Jonathan Major makes an appearance in Loki, because he likes to conquer time and all that. I would love that cameo as like a little cliffhanger at the end of that season. So again, guys, let us know your thoughts on Ant-Man 3, your excitement level, any thoughts and theories you all have about Ant-Man 3. Let us know in the comments.